Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Adventure Belt. My name is Kelly. Today we're going over the 5 essential things that every new overlander absolutely needs. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We have tons of overlanding tips, builds, and trips just for you. All right, let's start with defining what essential actually is. And what I consider essential is going to be that item that will get you out of trouble. And what is trouble? Trouble is avoidable damage, your truck breaking down, getting lost, not being able to communicate, getting stuck. Those are all things that will completely destroy a trip. So at the top, number 1, I believe to be the most important thing is gonna be armor. The one thing that will ruin a trip faster than anything else is gonna be unneeded damage to your vehicle, especially a rocker or something more sensitive under the vehicle. My go-to for everything armor is gonna be Cali raised LED and white knuckle off-road. Now Cali raised LED sells a complete skid plate kit for the Tacoma that you see behind me here. I took a huge hit to my front skid plate and my transfer case skid plate. And the Cali raised skid plates, they did great. They absorbed the impacts, kept on trucking. Rock sliders. I consider rock sliders to be the absolute first thing you should do on any overland rig. I run white knuckle off-road sliders on the Tacoma you see behind me here, and they have done absolutely flawless. And I will have links to all of these items in the description below. Be sure to go check that out down there. Number 2 is going to be don't get lost. And that's going to include a mapping system of some sort. This is Gaia Maps and a inReach mini satellite communicator. If you get lost, this is going to help you get out. If you really get lost, this will get you help no matter where you're at. Lots of people go out and rely on Google Maps and Google Earth, which might work some of the time, but it will not work all the time. And when it doesn't work, you will have no maps. And trust me, getting lost is a very, very bad thing to happen, especially here in the desert. Now you don't have to use Gaia. Gaia is what I use, but onX Maps has come a long way since they first launched it. And when it comes to communication, you can't go wrong with the inReach Mini or any of the inReaches. There's tons of satellite communication devices out there. Get one that works really, really well. You don't want to get lost. If you do get lost or something happens and you have no cell phone signal, this will 100% save your life. And while we're at it, while not necessary, but very, very convenient, is going to be that Expedition Essentials 3T PAM here in my Tacoma. Now this allows you to have all your navigation, your communication, everything right at finger's touch. That way it's a lot less likely if you do get lost. I know people that have gotten lost even with having Gaia Maps because they weren't paying attention to the map really, really well, and they were just kind of going on the trail and then found themselves having to backtrack 15-20 miles because they weren't paying attention to their maps. The 3T PAM just makes it that much more convenient to have them all at finger's touch. Number 3 is going to be recovery gear, and this is one place where I tell you, don't go cheap. There's a ton of inexpensive, mostly cheap recovery gear on Amazon, but I will tell you, spend a little extra money and get the stuff that's gonna last and it's gonna be reliable. You'll never worry if it's gonna work when you need it. There's 2 types of recovery gear. You've got self-recovery and buddy recovery. Let's start with buddy recovery. Get yourself a good Kinetic rope. This is my Kinetic rope from K72, and this thing's badass. Trevor and I did a bunch of testing on Kinetic ropes, and the K72 came out on top along with their soft shackles. All you really need are 2 soft shackles and a good Kinetic rope, and that will deal with 90% of your buddy recovery problems. Self-recovery is going to be 2 items. It's going to be a shovel and a set of recovery boards. The recovery boards I'm running are the Exitrax Ultimates, and they're really, really nice. Again, Trevor and I did a bunch of testing of recovery boards, and I'll link that video up here, but Exitrax Ultimates by far did the best of all the boards we tested. And for shovels, I run the Agency 6 shovel just because it's compact, it's light, it fits on my roof rack really, really nicely, it doesn't take up a lot of real estate, and a good quality shovel will just help you dig yourself out of those situations. What happened?
Asher was pretending a big stick was the sun, and he poked me.
You got it.
It was a really sharp stick.
Unless you want to put your apology on video. Don't show your. Let's see. Now turn. Now turn over here.
You're doing good. Only you would get a hole. There is your booty band-aid.
High five. Thanks, Dad. Thank you.
Number 4 is going to be get yourself a good first aid kit and a good fire extinguisher. Nothing can ruin a trip faster than an injury or a fire. To combat that, I've got the Adventure Medical Kits Sportsman 300 that will really deal with any minor to more moderately severe injury that happens on the trail. It's just good insurance. Hopefully we never have to use it. For fire extinguishers, I actually run 2. This is the Halguard from H3R, and this one lives at my feet, mounted to my Desert Does It Molly panel right on my front seat mount. This one is going to be for any kind of engine fire or a vehicle fire. And then I also run a MaxOut from H3R. This one lives at the back of my truck, and this is for forest fires, campfires, anything other than vehicle fire. You can never be too prepared for a fire because these again will save your life. And last but not least, get yourself a good toolkit. There's pre-made ones, or I made my own, kind of went to Harbor Freight and got every tool that I use doing these installs. That way I know exactly what it takes to fix them. Also get a reliable compressor and extra parts that you think might break, like tie rods, extra nuts, bolts, things that might go missing, rattle loose. You're better off having a bunch of extra just odds and ends, and hopefully you don't need them, but if you do, you have them in storage. All right, guys, that's it. That's my top 5 essentials for any new overlander out there. Let me know what you guys think. Are there anything that you would add or subtract from that list? All right, guys, I really hoped you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.